Hey guys, it's Mongolian Mindset, and today we're going to be interviewing Angel. Is that Angel?
hmm
What got you in typology?
Mm. My first introduction to it was the MBTI and then C.S. Joseph. And so it was interesting to see the MBTI, but the in-depth four sides of the mind really spoke to me.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What do you like about it and what you don't like?
I like the ability to get to understand people better and communicate with them more effectively so we can all get our needs met.
Hmm.
And the unlikability, I guess, just all the stereotypes people have with that. It's just like, oh, such a ASFP thing. Like you cannot be possibly more than what your type allows. So that's one
Okay.
thing.
Well, okay.
I just woke up, so I'm sorry if I sound like a chain smoker.
If you could change anything about typology, what would you change?
Mm, mm. The only thing that I think I would change about that is not necessarily the system itself, but how people are using it
Hmm.
and kind of like the meaning that they attach to not only their type but their cognitive functions, just understanding it better.
Hmm. Okay.
So no change really.
Okay. What do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
Where?
Hmm.
Last time I had an answer for you. This time around, I cannot really exactly say. I think I would like to go really take action on those dreams that I have of
Hmm.
helping people, starting not for profits, social entrepreneurial venture.
Hmm.
That's where I see myself. Yeah.
Hmm. Um, what do you think is something that slows you down?
I'm not sure if it's doubt or like it's the procrastination piece
Hmm.
of whatever subconscious kind of things are coming up. It's holding me back from actually executing the plans that I have.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay. What do you want to be remembered for?
we're helping to make a real difference in the world.
Hmm. Shelley, you
And
got anything?
yeah, changing the difference in the world. But I think each and every day, all of us can have the ability to do that, whether it's one person or a family or community. But to truly leave behind a legacy, I think it's changing the systems really that are causing the people suffering. Because most people, happiness and joy is an inherent state of being. I think it's just the world that we live in and the people that organize it that way, which is really holding people back from that. Yeah.
Okay. Shelley, you got anything?
I have no idea what we asked you last time. So, how comfortable are you in social situations with strangers?
It depends on what front I have on. I'm very much a social chameleon. If it's first time or if there's a perceived value of being seen a certain way, then I will slip into my diplomatic, very, understanding, outgoing, very interested in other people. A little bit too aggressive, been told sometimes. I just want to sound like I'm excited to meet that person or interested, but then that comes off as a little bit of a doormat energy I see sometimes. So in social settings, I can be pretty well. I'm mostly the initiator. I don't like to sit around and wait for people to come to me because that's what. Mhm.
Um, what are three things people would say about you and three things you'd say about yourself, or words?
One at a
I've been
time.
called I've been called serious before. Hmm, uh, serious, inspiring, um, and like a social butterfly sorts. Yeah, very bubbly.
And how would you describe yourself in 3 words?
Passionate, righteous, and in service. Yeah.
And what?
Like, I guess in service, like wanting to help to make a difference.
Okay. If you could have any job in the world, what would you take and why?
Of course, I'd be the Fortune 500 CEO. Yes. But no, I would definitely have a career in corporate.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the best way that I can actually have influence and make a change in the world. So yeah, an entrepreneur, like a CEO, whatever kind of role.
Okay. What's something that stresses you out?
Okay.
What's something that stresses you out?
In what regard? Like, well, facet of
Daily,
life.
on a daily.
Daily.
Yeah.
Stresses me out. It's just that existential question of, am I doing enough? Am I giving back enough? Am I having the best possible moment or future that I could? I can't change the past, but I'm very meticulous about the reality I want to live in. Yeah.
What's a skill everyone should have?
Persuasion.
What's a skill you would want the next generation to know?
Focus. These kids need fucking focus.
Do you see yourself as someone who has a lot of focus?
Yes and no. There is a part of me that is very laser focused of what I want to create, what I want to do, and they don't really budge. I don't care what people think or say of my dreams. I will get what I want. But the more scattered part is the one that's more searching right now, exploring, open to other perspectives and opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes out like this sometimes, but within me, deep within me, there is that just knowing of what I want.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking for different obvious avenues to get into it, maybe more fun ones.
Okay. What do you think is hmm, thinking here. What is something that gets you motivated?
Motivated. I mean, this is very personal to, I guess, my own mission and values, but what motivates me is when I see bullshit, like in corruption and things that are like flaws in systems or in people's ways of relating to one another. Like when I see issues, I'm very motivated about finding the reason why it's happening, finding solutions, getting people on board. Like that lights me up like nothing else.
What do you think is your weakest point of view? What's a point of view that you think is like, what's like a thing that you want to work on about yourself that you feel is something that is kind of weak?
Weakness. I can be a little bit too big vision picture sometimes. I think working out the very tiny minutia of these plans and how to actually enact them, that's something. The way I've currently made up for that is by having people around me who are very specialized and experts in their particular part of the field. So it's really connecting them, sharing the vision with them, and then allowing them to kind of do their thing. But for me personally, it's being able to just hone in on one thing that I want to work in.
So you think the worst part about you is that you are too big picture focused?
Too ambitious, too big picture. I want it all. Like, like I gotta choose a lane and kind of stick in it. Well, I mean, that's in one regard. So, and then I guess socially, it's the desire, the need to be liked, which leads to these people pleasing. I wish I could be as blunt and honest as you, Mr. Where it's like you tell people off and things like that. But I again, it goes back to that perceived social value. If I have
Mhm.
something to receive from me, and I know that's slightly manipulative, but I mean, isn't that what social engineering really is? Communicating.
I don't really
Um,
care to social engineer. I feel like it's kind of, I don't know. To me, I feel like weak people social engineer. That's just
mm,
my idea of things. Because if you're in power, why would you need to feel like you social engineering anything, you know? Like, let's say if you're the
um,
king of the world, you think he's going to be social engineering people? No, he's going to tell people what the fuck he wants. And that's it. It's either you do the job or you get fired, or you either do this or you're gone. You know, other people
mhm,
walk
mhm,
around you on eggshells, you know? People got to social engineer him, you know? So I always kind of see myself as someone like that. Like, I bend everybody else around me.
mhm. I see that, and I would like to express more of that. I think the background where I've come from is, well, a king who leads like that can be respected and feared, but at some point there will be an like a revolt, right?
Yeah.
Revolution. And so it's better to be popular so you know what people want, and you are that person where they don't even want to topple you off. And you kind of get them to do what you want them to do, but they think that that's what they wanted, and so they'll never even question, oh, how come he's telling me to do this? There's no resentment. And so,
Well,
you know,
the thing I would say is that no matter what you do, if you're the
mm,
leader, then someone's going to be upset with you. Okay, no matter what you do, you can be the best. That's the reason why Jesus got what he
mm,
got put on the cross. Like, you can never make everybody happy. Like, even if you think you're doing the best thing, there's going to be some people who are resenting you and might cause your own rebellion there. You know, so there's nothing you can really do. It's like no matter what you do, there's gonna be people on the opposite side saying, "We don't like this motherfucker." Oh my
mm,
God, I hate that he's always like social engineering people or fucking whatever. We gotta get rid of this motherfucker. So it's really nothing you can really do. So you might as well just be yourself, you know? That's just my
mm,
thought. Like,
mm.
might as well just be yourself. But I mean, if it helps you get ahead, I
Well, it depends. If you are someone in a position of power where you're not waiting on other people, um, you don't need them, especially when
mhm,
you're starting out someplace. You
mhm.
know, the 48 laws of power, right? You're never outshine the master. You're not going to seem so big where people, think of you. Who does this person think they are? You want to be a little bit smaller so you can work on their empathy and pity until you reach a point. Then that's when you lay down the laws, and then you're like, no, I'm not. Hey,
Okay.
don't worry, my arc is coming. My villain hero arc is coming. It's just right now. But that's another thing I really wish I could change my myself. I wish I didn't give a shit as much about people. I was so rebellious. I'm that type of friend where I meet you once, twice, a few times, and I notice something about you that you
Mhm.
can improve. I'm just so ready to tell that to that person. I don't care if it's being rude or not. A lot of the times I do hold back because I don't want to offend them. But I mean, it's the truth. It's a fact that if you were to work on that, you would suffer less, and the people around you would suffer less.
Mhm.
So I just don't understand these social political games, but I seem
Uh,
to know them pretty well. I've been programmed pretty well,
yeah,
and I
I
wanted to
mean,
break free from that.
I
So
mean,
that's my
hey,
opinion.
I mean, it works for some people. I feel like, I mean, if it's in your character to do it, go for it. But
No,
me
no,
personally, it's
no.
too. I feel like you end up hurting yourself because like you are conforming to someone else. Like you'd like conforming to them. So like you're not even being yourself, and then you got to keep that mask up, and it's like
Mm.
possible to keep doing. Like I don't know. To me, the outcome there is not what I want. So like, nah.
But I mean, I'm curious. Have you burned pretty many bridges, eh? By being your true, authentic self, laying it
No,
down. People don't like
I
that.
really don't. The funny
Really?
thing about it, I really don't burn many bridges.
Mhm.
My friends just accept me for who I am. You know, they just know like that's fucking Mercer. Like that's just how he is. Like
Yeah, yeah.
like they
What
might
about
get
people?
mad.
What about people in positions of power? Like you've obviously had to be
Oh yeah,
not
like
always the
bosses and
boss,
stuff. I
right?
mean,
With higher ups, how do you act? Are you gonna tell your boss, yo, I don't like the way you're looking at me like that? Like
you don't do
that
that. I
part
mean,
was dumb.
obviously, but like when
Oh,
I'm dealing with my bosses, I just tell them what's on my mind. Like if I think this is ineffective, I'm like, okay, I think we could do this a better way or whatnot. Or I think, we did this, we cut costs. There's a way you say it. Like I think we'll cut costs if we did this. But I'm not like, oh, let me like suck up to them. Like I'm not like, oh, let me like try to get them to like me. Oh, let me try to bend like let me try to perceive a way so that they would like me and put me up on a pedestal. Like,
yeah,
no,
you're
no,
clearly not an interest type, are you?
no. My thing is if I'm can be myself and be perfectly myself,
Mhm.
um, then I'll get to where I need to be by being effective.
Mhm.
Like, like pointing out things, like doing things. So I don't feel the need to try to like play the social games, like the magical social magic. It's like if you're just good at your fucking job and you like help
Mhm.
people and you talk to people, like you'll be just fine. I'm not gonna be like
Mhm.
focus, focus. Like I don't know, Shelley. What do you think about that? Hmm?
I don't. Yeah, I wasn't really listening. Sorry.
You wasn't fucking listening. The fuck you doing?
What you writing there, huh?
Analyzing what she said so far. Sorry.
God damn it, Shelley. How the hell you analyzing, but you don't
No,
know what the
you
fuck we're talking about. That don't make
you
sense.
start talking, man. I tuned you out.
Shelley, that don't make sense. You're not making sense. Jesus Christ. But let's keep going. Well, Shelley don't know how to talk, and she don't know how to listen. I mean, I don't know what she's good for. Throw her in
She's
the fucking
keeping
trash
notes.
can.
She's keeping notes.
Um, but
Do you enjoy routine?
When I'm unstable, when a lot of things are happening in my life, I appreciate it, but not usually. If I could just flow through life, I mean, yeah, it's a little bit of both. Certain routines you must keep, that discipline. Other things, let it be. No, I mean, that's my issue. I'm so in the middle with so many things. Like you can ask me, like, do you prefer to be more logical, emotional? I'm like, I'm an emotional machine. I'm a very logical, like emotional person. It goes both ways. So it's whatever is more effective in that moment, or ineffective if you want to be counterintuitive.
okay. What's your goals for 2023?
Mm, mm. Yes, to start that business. Yes, and that nonprofit. To be on a magazine. So there's many different projects that I'm working on right now, just to really get into that. And my overall goal is having a platform in which I can help others, but also start to be seen and recognized as someone who does really care. That is a community leader. Yeah. So I guess actual service and then also the cloud. Mhm. I'm only saying that, okay, because I understand, all right, how people work. I know, Mercer, you live in this very black and white world, but guess what? People look at appearances. People care about titles, and I'm only playing this game. I'm just like you, but I've learned that for at least in the ways that I want to help the world, like your face is very important. Not just this face, but like how people see you. I've been into pageants, man. You cannot be speaking like this, speaking your mind in a pageant. It's very like yeah, world peace, yes. And I would never, it's all of that. So I'm learning different perspectives. Yeah.
Oh God, you in patches? How was that?
It was the hardest and the most challenging thing ever, but I loved it. I love being out of my comfort zone. Imagine me on a stage and you're just like, you're dancing, you're prancing around and smiling, and people are judging you and
Mm-hmm.
comparing you to all the other contestants. Like it was very interesting, but I'm grateful for all the journeys I've had.
What was the best or worst part about that?
The best part, I guess the best and worst part was to face my fears and really challenge myself. I've had a hard time really like being on stage. I get a lot of stage fright and I just want to run off the stage. So being there, it was fun to have people look at you and like be seen, but also it was a hard thing to be seen. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And I got a sash. I won charity ambassador. So of course you best know I better be running my non-for-profits this year.
Yeah, Yeah. So what got you into wanting to do pageants?
The universe, man. The universe just brought me this opportunity and I said yes.
Okay. Do you feel as though you start a lot of things, or how you feel about that?
If I what, sir?
Do you feel as though you start a lot of things and don't finish them, or how do you feel overall?
No.
Hmm.
Yes. Yes. I started a lot of things. I'm working on actually finishing them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Has that always been a thing for you?
Pardon me?
Has that always been a thing for you?
Um, yeah, yeah. I think I kind of sometimes get overwhelmed by the actual steps of finishing something, or maybe I fall out of love with the project that I had in mind, and I find a better route, and it's okay. Sometimes we pivot. Other times it is a lack of my own initiative to finish it. But if certain things really matter to me, then of course, I will have to execute accordingly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's almost like all projects are up in the air, and then I'm just constantly choosing what I want to work on and how they align.
Mm-hmm.
Creating the master plan, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What type of things do you look in people?
Like traits and values.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, awareness, like consciousness, self-awareness, just awareness in general. You know, some people can be such NPCs, everything goes over their head. So someone who's quick, who's able to perceive integrity with their own values. Like I appreciate people who actually have values, both moral and ethical. Not so much on the moral. I don't care personally what you do for yourself, but if it's affecting other people or the world in a not so good way, then you should really check yourself. Having ethics and morals and having the integrity to align with them. Kindness. I know it's one of those like very lovey-dovey things, but kindness. And sometimes kindness is telling someone straight up that they're being, an asshole, right? But it's better to rip off that band-aid than let them sip the poison for many years. Um, and so that and joy, brightness, optimism. So many people are so jaded nowadays. Like it's okay to have passions and to have dreams and goals and work towards it, but lighten up a little bit. It's okay. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, hmm. If you were to fast forward your life to 100, what would be something you think you missed out on?
All the crazy, no. I better have not missed this, but all the fun, crazy, exclusive like experiences and parties, things that would be lots of fun. Wait, what I hope I didn't miss?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the parties, man. The really cool experiences. Like I love my passions. I love my mission, and it really drives me. But I really hate to have missed the finer things in life, where it's like the celebrations, meeting incredible people, like things out of this world that you would never get to experience, like extraordinary experiences.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
really live for that too.
Okay. What do you let's see. Hmm. Shelley, got anything?
What's the biggest problem with humanity?
Pardon me?
What, sorry. What is the biggest problem with humanity?
Oh, okay. From a spiritual aspect, it's just the unconsciousness that we have. If we truly knew that we were connected to spirit, the universe, God, whatever you believe in, um, that many people would be able to. I mean, the saying, "The truth sets you free." If people are really able to know the truth of this plane, of the planes that are, around us, then they would know how to set themselves free from karmic cycles, from um, suffering, and from pain. I mean, pain is part of life; it helps you grow, but suffering is a choice. Um, and the other issue with humanity is the people that are creating this so-called matrix that we live in right now. They're so driven by greed and their own selfish desires that they get to have the life that they want, but they're putting the entire rest of humanity in suffering so that they could have their fun. And I think that's a big problem. Yeah, just the dark side. But we can work through the dark side. We can heal that. But that's what I'd say.
So what's something that where do you get your optimism from?
My inner child. My inner child has never died.
Inner child has never died. What do your friends say about that?
My parents.
What's your friends?
My friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think some of my friends, the ones that really know me, they like that about me. The ones that I just meet, they think I'm a little bit naive sometimes. You know, very rose-colored glasses. Like, oh, she doesn't understand. No, but it's because I do fully understand the hardships, the struggles, the corruption in our world, that I still choose to be optimistic. I can be very serious like everybody else, and once you know the truth, like for example, human trafficking, that's a really fucked up thing. I could be all like sad and depressed, but I'd rather keep optimism and joy to bring about that brighter future that we want.
So you got anything?
How do you feel about authority?
If I'm in a position of authority, I love it. But I usually do have issue with people in power. If I see that your actions are not matching with what you're saying and you're using your power to control people, even in the slightest way, like I really don't like that. Or if you're not even using your power most efficiently, or authority, or whatever level, it's not effective, it's actually fucking things up, then that pisses me off. And that makes me feel very rebellious and like call them out. But I've been kicked out of many groups because of that. Very easily ostracized because I want to point things out, but I'm not allowed to. So I've learned to yeah.
So you've been kicked out of groups.
Yeah, I was almost kicked out of a group recently for challenging the matriarch, so to say. And so I've learned my lesson to hold my tongue. Sometimes you just have to do that in life.
Yeah. What do you think is a skill that you have that has allowed you to get to where you are?
It's a mix between that optimism, but also vision. I think I have been gifted with the ability to really see frameworks, systems, just ways of living that people can align with, that is for their highest good. And through these vision, I think that's what gives me the optimism, the belief, the passion. It's because I can see it, and I already live almost in that other timeline of reality. And it's just so beautiful and it's so exciting. And I bring it back and I hold that passion, that joy, and that belief within me. And of course, I'm all fired up and I believe it. And people tell me, "Oh, we'll never have utopia, heaven on earth." I'm like, you don't see. If only you could see, then you would know. You would be like all powered up for it. So yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. If you had to bet on one skill of yours for survival, what would it be?
Planning. Planning, yes. I think I'm able to plan for the worst and the best, be very prepared, always have another plan if that one falls through. For survival, yeah, you gotta be prepared and have appropriate plans of action if something were to go wrong. Like if we're talking like real survival, we're out in the woods, like I would find out ways of like, okay, if we don't find water, then what can we do? We have no shelter, how can we solve for that? We have no fire, no food, let's go fix that. Just being very knowledgeable and having plans for things.
If you were on a team, what role would you play? Like what position would you take?
Depends. Like again, I would love to be a leader in things, but if I know like we're a certain kind of team and there are people that with more talents or skills or expertise, I would allow that person to lead, and I would be more of like the director. Like you don't, to be a leader, you don't need to always be giving out the thing. You could kind of be the supporter in that, the vice president, so to say. So still a guide to the other members of that team, but not the one that's making the executor kind of role. yeah. But if I am the most, like person in expertise, then I would take that. It's all about duty, right?
Okay.
Do you find it difficult to make decisions?
For the small things, yes. For the big things that I've really cared enough to think about, meditate upon, there's no question about it for me. I'm open to other perspectives from people, but I know what I want. Knowing what color to do my nails, what to eat, what to make. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
What's your biggest fear?
In what regard?
In life.
The fear of not being able to get what I want. To be, I guess, abandoned or unloved. Like there's different sections. Yeah, to be lacking for one of the things that I want and need in life.
Okay.
When you have regrets, what do you think? Oh, where'd you go?
Yeah.
Sorry. When you have regrets, what do you think that they're centered around?
Not doing more, man. Like not taking more action, not creating more, not being on my path more, not being in more service, like missing out on opportunities because of me or other situations or circumstances. But I do believe that we create the circumstances that we're in. I like to take full accountability.
Okay. If you were to go to jail for anything, what would it be and why?
For some political movement, if I were to, like, that's the only thing I'd really get like nailed for in jail. I mean, and the other stuff I'm pretty good at anyway with, but if it would either be doing some kind of political activism that the government doesn't like, speaking out, stuff like that, or for no, never mind. Yeah, let's just keep it at that. Yes, political unrest.
Why'd you change?
No, I was gonna make a joke. No, but I have integrity. I'm a person of integrity. I would never do that.
You're
Yeah.
a person of integrity.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you think that sometimes or no? Yeah.
Is that what?
Do you always feel as though you're a person of integrity?
I'm conscious of the times I'm not. I reflect on it. Sometimes I allow it just so I can experience a different, thing. Sometimes you have to go outside of the box and know, that's not who I want to be and how I want to act. Go back into it. You test yourself. I went to jail. Either that.
What does a normal weekend look like for you?
Normal weekend. I've been more of a social state of being. So I think it's going out with people, joining groups, having conversations with like-minded people, or just having fun. Sometime in nature, on their own. But it's very socially focused. Yes. Oh. And then the other side of that, to stay.
How do you behave when you get upset?
What kind of upset? Like serious upset or just a little peeve?
Yeah, no, you're just
seriously upset. Oh, you don't want to see me seriously upset. No, I will grill you. You will not hear the end of it until you understand, and I know you can understand and I see it, right? Not, oh, I'm sorry. You have to be really sorry. Like I will make sure you understand things. Very, especially if I've been wrong or I feel like I've been wronged, very passionate. The fingers start coming out, and I start explaining things to you like this. And how could you do that? And all this and that. But not in just always like an angry kind of way. It's constructive still. I still have compassion and empathy for people, but I'm not gonna have you walk all over me, kind of thing. No.
You want them to learn from it, basically.
Oh, yes. The reason I came back here was because I was going through a little bit of an ego death, where a lot of what I wanted to do and who I wanted to be was just falling away. And so I thought that my personality might have changed a little bit, but now that I hear myself, I think I've stayed pretty true. Maybe the ways I'm going about certain things a little bit different now, but
yeah. Shelley, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I feel pretty confident in what I told you.
Yeah. I tried to go around and see if there was anything that was possibly different than what we got last time, but unfortunately, okay, obviously it's very.
Yeah, I can remember what we got. He's like, I'm not gonna tell you. So
yeah, she asked
what's
me.
my diagnosis?
And then he's like, then he was like, could she be this? Could she be that? Yeah, I'm like, no.
And like I tried to flirt around and play with the possibility here, but unfortunately, you are initiating AF, like very initiating. Like it's ridiculous how initiating. You're way more initiating than me, and we're both two extroverts. You're overwhelmingly initiating. Okay, I'm so sorry. You even initiated the last point where you're talking about your discovery there of like why you think your personality might have changed. So unfortunately, you are initiating that, eliminates all of the extroverts. You also talked about I still have empathy and compassion for people, even when you're upset. That's going to be F, E, and T, I. Unfortunately, you're obviously clearly NI, like you're talking about. Only if you can see what I see, all that. Like it's almost like you can touch the future. Very abstract. So yeah, FE, abstract, initiating. You're down to that's it. I think that's it. That's it. ENFJ. That's literally it. Okay. As soon as it goes abstract, initiating, TFI, that's it. ENFJ. Again.
So what's wrong with me? Because I thought that ENFJs were more of that, like you're the counterpart, right? The ENTJ, which is very direct, very like not
We're
willing
both
to skirt
direct.
around things.
We're both direct.
Well, we're both direct, but how come you're able to just be yourself and not play all these social
Because I'm not
engineering
an FE user.
things?
I'm a TE user, and I'm a strong TE user. You're a strong FE user. So you like to be around people. You like to care about what other people value. I don't give a fuck what other people value. And it comes out, unfortunately, when I'm talking to people sometimes, or like when I make a decision or something, people are like, oh my God, you can't do that. And I'm like, why the fuck I can't do that? Oh, well, you didn't think about how I would feel about this. You see what I'm saying? I'm a T user. So I'm a strong T user. My FE is my 8th spot, which is very weak. Yours is in your 1st spot, which is very strong. So you're very people oriented. I am very.
Well, like sometimes the decision that you have to make for the greater good of people is not what they want. And that's when I'm able to tell people like, no, I'm sorry, but your way is wrong. And I have this fact. People like to say, oh, I want to eat 3 meals a day and that's healthy and that's good for me. I'm like, no, eating McDonald's 3 days a day is not okay. And here's the science behind that, But I mean, of course, I'm able to put down laws, but I do care what's the greatest good for everyone. But whereas you're just like, I know what I want and I know what's the best way according to
I'm
you,
just
right?
looking at what's the most efficient way, what's the best way. If someone says something like, okay, depends on like now I'm not as hard on people as I used to be. When I was younger, I was a much more hard on people. I would like be very quickly before I put you in a box I call trash. So I very quickly put someone in a box called trash, which means that they have no future. Like I can look at a person within a little bit and I can tell exactly the way they talk for a little bit. I can tell exactly where the future's going. But now I like have chilled out and understand that these people are also necessary in the world. So I don't get on them as hard as I used to. I used to be like, man, why you fucking stupid? Like, why you doing this? Like, bro, you ain't gonna have nothing in 5 years. You're gonna be the same person you are today, fucking 10 years from now. Now I don't do that anymore. Like, I'm just like, oh, whatever, man. They're doing their thing. I'm gonna focus on what I need to do. Hey, you know, that's their life.
Yeah.
Um,
I resonate with what you said there too, with setting people straight, but it's because I care about them enough. It's not like I'm just mad at them for their own issues. It's just if I don't care about you, I will let you be that way. But yeah, okay. My diagnosis is still one and the same.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, I just see it as, you know, unfortunately, you know, there's a difference. Like everyone's like, there's no like perfect thing, perfect whatever. Like you have your ups, you have your downs. Like myself, I'm in a struggle with maintaining relationships, maintaining friendships. Um, because a lot of stuff that I do, you can't get away with that, you know. Like my friends just make exception for me because it's me. But like if you have a wife and kids, you don't want them to fucking hate you, you know, long term. What up, Keith? But yeah,
Okay.
like you may struggle with being productive, you know, because that's your worst function, you know.
I know, but that's why I have other people. That's why I get other people on the dream and then they go do the shit and I'm just relax them, you know? It's
Yeah.
the whole boss mentality. Would you rather be doing all the little works and spreading yourself thin or get the right people, tell them the vision, to go deal with it?
As
Yeah,
outcome focused, very outcome focused there.
outcome, of course, yes. Uh,
Yeah.
that's the methods, whatever it means to, oh, well, not whatever it means to the end, but I'm willing to work
What
around
you
it.
just said is very in charge and outcome.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, yeah, again, I was very outcome and in charge. And
Mhm.
I parent. And I'll tell them the vision and then they'll do it, you know. Very, I mean,
But that's why I have to play these social games, is because sometimes some people need more persuading and eye-opening to see that vision. But
see,
it's
I'm
okay.
just like you either get with it or get lost. That's my I don't have time for that. Like I feel
Yeah,
as though unfortunately I tell people this all the time. I feel like everybody's fucking replaceable.
yeah.
Like I'm not gonna play little bullshit games. Like everybody's replaceable. You don't want to do it, all right, bye. I don't like I can get somebody else to do it. Like, I'm not gonna play this like let me persuade you, fuck out of here, go bye.
Or either that or you have to mold people. If you run out of like if there's 5 people, let's just say that were really qualified for that project you have, and you just told them get on with it and they're all have their own hangups. Now you have to you have to create somebody with that role, you know?
You can find another person. I ain't gonna sit there and waste time. That's like a lot of time wasting there. I gotta
Yeah.
mold you. That means I gotta teach you. That means I gotta do it.
Mm-hmm.
If I got to do it, why am I paying you?
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Like if I got to hold your hand and do everything, then why the fuck am I paying you? Why are you on the team? I could just get rid of you and me do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah. But you're different than me. You want to build people up. Necessarily don't give a fuck about that. Unfortunately, it is what it is.
Well, we got to break people down first before you build them back up sometimes.
Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we have another type in a little bit. It's amazing to talk to you.
Yes. Thank you for having me again, both of you, Shelley.
Thank you. It was wonderful. ENFJ yet again. Shelley, I wasn't gonna tell you.
You had me. He's like, "Are you sure she's not ENFP?" And I'm like, "Oh crap! Did I get the wrong thing?"
Yeah,
I'm
because I
like,
was
"There's
just,
no way." She's
you
like,
know,
"She's in charge." There's no way.
because
And it's
she
like
came
denied.
back. She came back. So I got to try other ideas and see if it fits. And I'm like, okay, you know, she's back again. Maybe we got it wrong the first time. You know, I don't even know how fucking long ago. Okay. So I'm like, let me flirt with ideas. And like ENFP. No, I knew she was NF like off red, but just way too much. And then she's initiated. So there's only really 2 types: ENFP, ENFJ.
Wait, so I'm curious, what kind of what kind of framework do you guys actually use? Because I hear a little bit of everything, right? Different temperament styles. Are you part of CSJ's framework or outside of that?
Well, so that's actually Linda Barrens framework.
The parents, yeah.
Okay. So we use Linda Barrens framework, and we also listen to you for cognitive functions as well.
Mhm.
So your temperament was NF temperament, which is abstract and interest. So as
Mhm.
soon as someone's abstract and interest, they're NF.
Mhm.
And then with you being initiating, which is extrovert, that limits you down to literally 2 types because there's only 4 NFs. So the process of elimination makes that initiating there's only 2 types. And there's a huge difference between a TI user and a TE user. So with that being said, that eliminates ENFP, and we don't even have to understand if you're informative or not.
Yeah, I'm listening for like all of Barrens metrics as well as like the functions, and then like watching interaction style and temperament. So
it's all the same.
I thought I was a TE user because I care a lot about ethics and people acting the right way. That's how we make a society.
Ethics is FE.
Oh, okay. Ethics.
I got a cognitive function video.
Yeah, like you saying you'd go to jail.
Go watch it.
Movement, like basically.
I think I made the most comprehensive cognitive function video.
Oh yeah.
Just go watch it.
Okay, all right. Link it in on your YouTube.
Yeah, on the YouTube. It's
okay. We'll do
it. And the playlist is called Cognitive Function Analysis, and there's all of the cognitive functions broken down with all of the sources that I pulled together. Okay, plus
are you mad at me?
No. You just
sure.
You gotta know that ethics
both
is FE. Ethics is FE.
Yeah.
Making people do the right thing, that's affiliative. Sorry.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you both for your time and your care.
Pleasure.
Yeah, of course.
Have a wonderful day, okay?
All right. See you around.
Bye.
All right. Bye.